So this is the review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 8. This is the finale, Episode 17. Who's been naughty, who's been nice. And just to start it off, I will say that... Am I in the frame? Or whatever. I will say that the first half of this episode could have been just edited, completely cut out. Because it was just filler. Unnecessary. Second half, that's where we get to the real meat and potatoes. And then the reunion... The reunion, if you do nothing else of this season, even if you didn't watch this season, watch the reunion, because it just felt like the show was going to end. That this was like the last season and that the show was over. And so the ladies were as honest and real with each other as they've ever been before. And I'm ready for it because there's a lot of fakeness going on. This fake kumbaya. Kumbaya is great as long as it's genuine. So anyway, we have Phaedra, who started off this episode. And she's in her house, she's cooking. She's cooking because she's working with Dwight. You remember Dwight, event planner extraordinaire. Yeah, well, he's back and he's planning this Christmas holiday themed event for, what's her name? For Phaedra, because the first time that they had Christmas or a holiday without Apollo, it was really shaky as far as her family life was concerned. So this time she's trying to do it big, make it very festive. I'm trying to figure out, where was Dylan? Where was Dylan in all of this? I just realized that. Where was Dylan? We had Aiden there, but where is Dylan? Anyway, so she's getting it ready. I'm like, okay, they did not spend all this time setting up this scene just so that she would go and talk to Dwight over the phone and make herself something to eat. I'm like, what's going on here? So it goes back and Candy, of course, is getting ready because she's going to her doctor's appointment because the baby's going to be coming soon. So there's that. Then you have, what's her name? Who else? But Portia. Portia comes in and Portia, of course, is dressed in nice. I'm like, Portia, where are you going? Where are you going? That's what I think most of the time. It's like, where are you going? What are you doing? You look great, but whatever. So they're chatting, and it's interesting because you have this weird situation where Candy and Todd are talking about how... Well, actually, Candy and Todd are going to see visit Todd's mother's gravesite, because it's been about a year and a couple of days at that time after her passing. And so before that, you have, like I said, Portia and Phaedra were talking about the whole situation with what's going on with the party, just life in general, and her relationship with Candy, which, as we know, is very off and on. Another thing was that, guess who's teaching Phaedra how to do some clog dancing? Whatever it is. I think like some Irish or whatever it is. But Portia's like, do black people do that? I'm like, look, black people can do anything. Stop it. Now, anyway, aside from that, Chris is assisting Phaedra with the dancing. And you know, Phaedra makes a little sly comments. Well, actually, it's not really Phaedra. It's really Portia that's like, oh, so you know, Chris is going to teach you, oh, so it's going to be sassy and going to be twirling, flipping the hair. It's like, Portia, stop it. And I appreciated Phaedra kind of like saying, okay, Portia, I'm kind of laughing with you, but chill, girl. We're ready to try and squash that BS. Let's stop now. But anyway, so the episode, it takes a different turn because of the fact that we see clips of Todd and his mother, Sharon. And remember, like I said, she passed away, and so they went to her gravesite. And of course, Sharon was a big advocate for them to get married and then have a kid. And since they're having a son, it's like, oh, that's really nice. That's really cool. Of course, you will love that since she always called him the best son in the world. So it's like the best grandson in the world. So they're also giving they're giving their son her last name. And so that's really nice. But you have, like I said, Phaedra and Portia are going online. And, well, not online, but they're just talking about the fact that the feds raided their house. And when I say their house, I mean Candy and Todd's house. Not only did they raid Candy and Todd's house, of course, for Apollo's assets, they also raided Cynthia and Peter's house. Now, the funny thing about that is everyone's like, okay, so we already know that Phaedra called the feds on them. And Phaedra's like, look, I didn't do anything of the sorts. Why are people blaming me? I had nothing to do with that. That is not my problem. That is not my issue. I already told you that Phaedra and Kandi have this on and on borderline fake relationship at this point. And that was already highlighted. It's like, they really don't know where they stand with each other. And I could see that. So, Kenya is at home and Matt comes and Matt brings her a gift. Matt actually went and gave her and bought her new puppies because of course you remember what's her name? Kenya had dog called, what was that dog called? She was really cute. Miracle? No, not Miracle. Velvet. I'm thinking Braxton Family Values. Velvet. So Velvet was there in spirit, and now she has King and Twirl. King and Twirl. Okay. So, it's like, Kenya can definitely kind of see herself with Matt in the long haul. Potentially. Not 100% sure at this point. Not 100% sure. And, Kenya, again, is just going over the drama that the group currently has. Again, everyone's trying to wrap up the season. That's all it's really going on. Everyone's trying to wrap up the season. And they're also like, you know, it's crazy because how in the world is Phaedra, you know, she's hood, right? It's like, hood? It's like, you know, that's some hood tactics, right? It's like, I don't see you ladies as hood. That's what I don't see. And it was interesting that Kenya would comment about Phaedra potentially calling the feds on Kandi and also Cynthia, even though they're supposed to be her pseudo friends, but we know what that really is. So we get to Cynthia and Mallory's there to assist her to set the place up, to stage the place, to stage the scene, so that she can go and give Peter a massage. I'm like, why? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Hasn't Peter been the one that put you through so much? Shouldn't you be getting the massage from him? He probably already did it, and so maybe you're just doing this in return. I don't know. It was weird. It was gross. I'm going to be honest. It was gross and it was awkward. And it was hilarious when Cynthia didn't realize that Noelle and Leon didn't leave yet. They were there the whole time. And she was like, I thought you guys were gone an hour ago. What's going on? She's like, no, we're leaving now. And it was in the middle of Cynthia giving Peter a happy ending on national TV. I'm like, wait a minute. Are we really? But then again, this is the same network, Bravo TV, owned by NBC. The same network that had the audacity to display, what's his name? Ridiculous? Yeah, so anyway, you have Portia and she's with her sister. They're at the doctor's because, you know, Portia has thyroids. I think I said that correctly. And so that's what caused her to have the miscarriage the first time. And of course, Portia was talking about how she would never expected her sister to have a baby before she does. So there's that. But it looks like Portia will be able to have a child and she doesn't need to freeze her eggs. She still has it, but they're the size of walnuts. So it's nothing like how it was before. She shouldn't have any complications and she should have time. And she was just talking about how, you know, our older friends, Kandi and Phaedra, they had babies. So I think we should be good. I was like, okay, I caught that. But all right. Yeah, so Phaedra pops up to where Dwight is setting up, of course, her party. And it looks interesting. I'll say that. Dwight looked different. Now I know why. He got a nose job. I didn't see the episode, but apparently he was on Botched. So if you thought that was him on that episode, it was. And if you thought he looked different, he does. Because of the nose job. So everyone's coming in, and it's funny because Aiden's there, and Aiden's the elf on the shelf. So he's essentially giving everyone coal. It's like, you're all bad. He already gave Phaedra coal. She's like, she's a naughty girl. She's on a naughty list. She also did the same thing to, she did the same thing to who? He also did the same thing to Sheree. So it was like, alright, don't feel bad. He gave me coal as well. I was like, oh, little Aiden. So cute. Saving the scene. No shout